Hello, Premier Planet. It's Justin Barlow coming at you from inside the Premier Studio in Woodstock, Illinois. And as always, a big thank you and a big shout out to everyone who came out this last Saturday to celebrate our 169th studio taping with us. And of course, all of you who couldn't make it out but were here with us in spirit, we thank you as well. If you weren't able to come out to the Premier Studio this last Saturday, let me fill you in on all of the excitement you missed out on. We start off the evening with Premier Academy standout and one of the fastest rising young stars in Premier Pro Wrestling today, Anakin, taking on the crafty and the sneaky 0-1. Now 0-1, he tried to be crafty and sneaky throughout this match, but Anakin is able to actually get a pinfall victory. You can see from the footage, 0-1 goes into the corner, Anakin dives through the ropes, is able to roll 0-1 up, 1, 2, 3, and walk away with a huge moral victory at PPW this last Saturday. Following that, big time, huge implications matchup for the number one contendership. The winner becomes the number one seat for the Premier Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship. It was Irish Andy Anderson and Chase Gosling, the former Dirty Boys, now bitter rivals, going head to head. Let's show you what happened during this matchup. You can see there Chase exposing the knee. He's got Andy right where he wants him. Bam! Rings Andy's bell. I think Andy was seeing a few of those little cartoon birds flying around his head after that one. Chase gets the 1, 2, 3, and Chase Gosling is now your legitimate number one contender for the PPW World Heavyweight Championship. Following that match, it was the return match. Sky Blue taking on Shredding Connor Core, who in recent weeks, as you know, has been wanting to infect the Premier Planet with a case of gonorrhea. But during this match was issued because Sky Blue 1 week ago was able to pick up a victory over Connor, but Connor, in pretty much just a blind rage, attacks Sky after the match. Sky gets another chance to get her hands on Connor, but this time it was Connor Core who was victorious. He's able to rake Sky Blue across the eyes and get her into a small package for the 1, 2, 3. But this time, it was Sky Blue who got retribution on Connor after the match as Connor's celebrating. She's able to chase him out of the ring, and Sky Blue able to exact a little revenge for her loss at PPW 169. So following the intermission, it was our main event. The PPW World Heavyweight Championship was on the line. If you remember, 1 week ago, Matt Vine took a disqualification loss when he was defending the title against Inestra by sending Inestra face first into the steel ring post. At PPW 169 this last Saturday, Inestra gets another chance to regain that world championship that he lost not that long ago. But remember, Matt Vine is now a 3-time champion. He was not going to let that belt go without, indeed, a fight to his last breath. And let's take a look at what happened during this match. And before we cut, though, I need to mention Ronnie Veronica Metro, before the opening bell, comes down to ringside, and he announces that he's down there to scout the competition. Of course, everybody smelled a rat, but the referee decided that as long as Ronnie was going to sit at ringside and watch the match and not interject himself, since he wasn't managing anyone, he had every right to do so. So let's cut to the footage and see what took place at the end of this matchup. So you can see there, Ronnie Metro behaving himself for the most part in the match, but at the very end comes in, ascends that top rope, is looking to deliver a splash to both Inestra and Matt Vine. Inestra gets out of the way at the last possible moment. Ronnie splashes Vine. Referee calls for the disqualification. Vine gets the match and retains the PPW World Heavyweight Championship. But then everything breaks down into chaos. It was an all-around beatdown. Andy Anderson ends up joining the fray together with Ronnie. They both eject Inestra from the ring, and then they begin a double team on Matt Vine, and that's when Chase Gosling runs in for the save. Together with Vine, they chase off the Dirty Boys, who head for the hills. But don't forget, we had a scheduled tag team match that was supposed to be Andy Anderson and Ronnie Metro taking on the team of Matt Vine and Chase Gosling, and it was decided that since these guys wanted to fight, we weren't going to waste any time. The match got underway, but in the end, unfortunately, as things were breaking down, the Dirty Boys were up to their old tricks. Chase Gosling grabs a chair. He hits Ronnie Metro in the back in full sight of the referee. The referee calls the match a disqualification in favor of the Dirty Boys Club. But things didn't end there, because once the Dirty Boys had made their way to the locker room, Chase Gosling asked for the microphone, and with Matt Vine in the ring, reminded him that Chase is now the legitimate #1 contender, and these guys are going to lock up with the title on the line this coming Saturday at PPW 170. Matt Vine, Chase Gosling, it is going to be a war when these two lock up in the ring, especially with that gold on the line. And also coming up this Saturday, it was announced after the tag team match, we're going to have a #1 contenders match. Quite interesting, because it's Ronnie Metro taking on, of all people, Irish Andy Anderson. So needless to say, neither were pleased by this announcement, but huge world title implications in store for both of them, for the winner, whoever is able to get a pinfall, submission countout, what have you, in their #1 contenders match this Saturday night. As always, Premier Planet, on behalf of all of us here at Premier Pro Wrestling, a big thank you for your continued support. Don't forget to find us all over the internet, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube. Don't forget about our official website at PremierProWrestling.com. You're going to want to add that to your bookmarks list. And as always, we will see you folks out here this Saturday night and every Saturday night in the Premier Studio in Woodstock.